What's up, YouTube? It's your boy C to the 904, back with another tier of Critic review. And today we're looking at Transformers War for Cybertron, the video game. Now, I have an Xbox 360, so of course all my experience on playing the game comes from that version. Now, I'm going to start with the designs of the characters and the planet. Now, Cybertron itself was something we never really got to see, especially not before the war. But I think it was really nice how the barricades, the doors, and bridges all transform out right in front of you as you interact with them. I thought also the character designs, most of them obviously came from their G1 representations, especially with the head sculpts and color schemes. But one thing that really got to me was how each character has shifting parts and panels that move around even when the character is standing still. And I thought that was a really good touch and a great touch that they actually went the extra mile in adding that when they simply could have left each and every character as just a huge block of metal. The campaign. Now the campaign is 10 chapters. Chapters 1 through 5 are for the Decepticons. Chapters 6 through 10 are for the Autobots. The reason being is the Decepticon campaign precedes the Autobot campaign. Where the Decepticon campaign, you start off as Megatron. He has already amassed an army, and he's attempting to unlock the secret of Dark Energon and attempting to corrupt Cybertron itself with the power of Dark Energon. The Autobots campaign basically starts with their retaliation and their campaign to try to rescue Zeta Prime if he's still alive. If you finish the Decepticon campaign, you'll unlock Slipstream. Now, Slipstream is the female Seeker clone from Transformers Animated, if you're familiar with that cartoon. The Autobot campaign, upon completion, will unlock RC. RC is a female scout vehicle, and she was a main character mostly in G1. Maybe there have been a few other cartoons she was in. She was in Transformers Animated as well. Exclusive characters. If you got your game from GameStop, you got Shockwave. If you got your game from Best Buy, you would have gotten Jazz. If you got your game from Amazon.com, you would have gotten Demolisher. Now, personally, I am very disappointed in Best Buy and Amazon.com for not properly advertising their exclusive characters, because I have the Best Buy version. I originally pre-ordered my game from GameStop to get Shockwave, but when I heard about Best Buy having Jazz, I changed my pre-order that same day. Now that I play online with Jazz in the escalation mode and the multiplayer mode, I've been asked way too many times, where did I get Jazz? Not many people knew about Jazz and Demolisher at all, and I get asked the question all the time, and it's disappointing because Jazz is a great character. Demolisher, especially in escalation mode, is a very useful character, and nobody knew about those two characters. Nobody knew. And it's just sad that they didn't properly advertise their figures. Maybe they would have got more sales had they put the time into it. Multiplayer. In the multiplayer mode, you get there are 6 modes and 8 maps. In the multiplayer, this is where you get to customize your Transformer, where you get to take a chassis from one of the characters you have and customize their colors, weapon layout, and special abilities. Then you get to take them and use them in 6 different modes, which is the regular deathmatch, team deathmatch, power struggle, conquest, code of power, and countdown to extinction. There's also an escalation mode, which is 4-player co-op, but the escalation mode is it's a 4-player co-op where you take on waves of enemies. Where I've heard this being compared to Horde on Gears of War, I believe, but I don't have the game, so I'm not familiar with it at all. So you can also play co-op campaign, which is 3, just a 3-player co-op for the campaign. Online multiplayer is 10 players. It's 5-on-5 or 10 players for the deathmatch. Now with the escalation mode, it's split in 2 parts. There's the Decepticon map and there's the Autobot map. which you pretty much take on waves of enemies. But I've heard there's supposed to be a DLC, which there will be additional maps for escalation mode, as well as all the unlockable characters, Shockwave, Jazz, Demolisher, and a few other characters that will be included in the DLC, which is I'm looking very forward to. The controls for the game. Now, I'm not a huge shooter fan, so there aren't many games I can compare it to. But from countless hours of playing the game so far, I can say that the controls were done really well. Back when I played the demo, I did accidentally transform a few times, but if that's a problem for you, there is an option to change the transformation to a different button. The transformation it doesn't hinder the game, and it's sometimes key in your strategy in the battle. I mean, if you're overwhelmed, especially if you're overwhelmed by your enemies, you can simply transform and hopefully, if you're lucky enough, actually get away. Overall, I thought Transformers War for Cybertron was a really good game. As a Transformers fan, it's hard to argue with a game that allows you to take your favorite characters, play with them, fight alongside them, and also take their chassis and customize their colors and special abilities and use them online to fight against other people who have done the same. From an average shooter fan's point of view, I would say Transformers War for Cybertron will be a great pickup because not many shooters do you have the option of where the character you're actually playing with has the ability to change form and have such great mobility. Without having to utilize an actual vehicle, the character you're using is a vehicle. So overall, I have to say give Transformers War for Cybertron a 9 out of 10. I've played the game. There are a few glitches that needs to be corrected. There are downloadable characters. There are characters that will be available for download later on as downloadable content. But in my opinion, those characters and those maps should already be packaged in the game. You've already paid $60 for the game. Now you have to pay a few dollars more to get something that should have been packaged in the original. And that's something, even though I've purchased DLCs online, that's still something that irritates me, that you already spent all this money on the game and then have to go back afterwards and spend more money on something that should have been included in the original version. But anyway, Transformers War for Cybertron, in my opinion, is a can't miss. You gotta play it. If you haven't played it, rent it, go to your friend's house and play it. It's kind of hard to argue with a game like this. And I personally thank High Moon Studios for giving us the game we've been waiting for, and I just really appreciate what we've gotten. So this boy C to down to 4. You boys take it easy, and I'll talk to you later.